Hey, welcome guys. Tony Porter and it's Universal Baseball Association YouTube channel. Hope everybody's doing well out there. And here we are back on at the table with some dice and throwing some dice. We're using season ticket baseball, and this is what, game 20 something for me. Let me see. So I'm starting to get a feel of the mechanics of the game. Mets are 12 and 14, so they've improved a lot. They were really struggling early on. I can't move too much because I'm surrounded by my guard dogs here. So they have a tendency to get right under the wheels of the chair, and it's really annoying. But hopefully I'll be very, very careful. Anyway, so it's the Braves. The Braves are visiting the Mets since 1973. And it's going to be on the mound for the Mets. It's the left-hander, the southpaw, Jon Matlack. Jon Matlack is 1-2 with a 2.58 ERA, 45 innings pitched, 39 strikeouts. And he'll be facing a guy named Ron Reed. So let's get going here on this game. All right, and it's going to be a guy named Oscar Brown leading off. He is the what position is he playing? He will be Oscar Brown. He's a right fielder today. All right, so it's going to be a 352, so that'll be off the batter card, and a 52 is a little nubber in front of the plate, and out from behind the plate is Grody. He pounces on it and fires to first in time. So it's a G2. You don't get a lot of those, and which is, logical, right? You don't get a lot of those in reality. All right, next guy is Marty Perez. It's going to be Marty Perez followed by Hank Aaron, and then it's Davey Johnson. Batting fifth is Dusty Baker. Sixth is Darrell Evans. Seventh is Dick Dietz. Eighth is the catcher, Casanova. And then ninth, of course, the pitcher. So here's the pitch for Matlack. And again, a 384. So I'm just looking at the 84, and that's a line drive, base hit. Marty Perez picks up a single. He's on at first. His stolen bases are 5 for the season. I don't worry about that. It is Hank Aaron, always a dangerous hitter. Now, he had a good season, although he did suffer. He was out because of injury. There's no other explanation. He only played in 120 games, 400 at-bats, but he hit 40 home runs in 400 at-bats. So this was actually, at age 39, had he played the whole season, you're looking at 60 home runs. If he would have picked up, because that's 400 at-bats, 40 home runs, so another 200 at-bats would have been another 20 home runs. And he would have hit 60 home runs at age 39, which is probably pretty incredible. This is 1973, and he's this is the twilight of his career. He batted .301 with an on-base percentage of .400, so pretty impressive. Here's Jon Matlack against Henry Aaron, and it's again a 3, and it's a 37, and a 37 will be a knock to the shortstop, and Harrelson knocks it down and picks it up, and no throw, and that'll be an infield hit. So runners on first and second with 1 out. Next up is Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson hit 43 home runs in 1973. He played the whole season, 157 games. 43 home runs. What a season for Davey Johnson. I don't think he ever kind of duplicated this season. Here's the pitch from Matlack. Oh, this is a 23. It's a 5.23. So this is going to be, we're going to check the catcher Grody for a 23, and this will be a 23 will be a strikeout. He swings at a high fastball and goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So Davey Johnson. Fans, and it's Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker is a right-handed hitter. He is the center fielder. Here's the pitch from Matlack. It's a 4.44 against the lefty, so a 44 against the lefty will be a ground ball. Third base, Garrett goes to second for the force, and that's the end of the top of the first inning. We're at the bottom of the first, with the Mets coming to bat. Leading off is a guy named Teddy Martinez. Let me go over the lineup. Teddy Martinez, then Mian, who's on a tear right now. A 290 hitter, by the way, and he was batting like 140, so he's been on a tear. Garrett batting third, clean up his stop. One of my favorite players of all time. Kranepool, another favorite of mine, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Gosger. Seventh is Grody. Eighth is Howson. And ninth, of course, is the pitcher. Ron Reed with the pitch to Ted. And that is going to be an 83, a 483. He's a righty, so an 83 is going to be a ground ball, base hit up the middle, past the diving Johnson. And he had 8 stolen. Well, he had 8 attempts. Not going to worry about that. Every so often, I'll steal with him. Mian, do we try a hit and run? Not really. We're going to just swing away right now. Let's see what happens. And it's a 6. It's a 20. But this is the home team, so it's a 30. And the 30 is going to be a pop-up. Middle infield, shortstop. Perez calling for it. And they retire Mian, who's been on fire lately. Wayne Garrett. Wayne Garrett hit 16 home runs. Does he have any in this season? He got 1 home run in 57 at-bats. Pitch, and that's a 5, a 53. So that's to the third baseman, Darrell Evans. And a 53 is going to be a ground ball. Third base goes to second for 1, back to first, double play. 5-4-3, round the horn, double play, and that ends the inning. We go to the top of the second. Darrell Evans leads off, lefty to lefty. And it's a 66 on the 3 column, and that's going to be ball 4. So he does walk a lot, has a very good eye, and he does walk a lot. He did have a non-base percentage of 400. You know, the Braves I feel they have a really good offense. I just, even this other guy, the Roadrunner, Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr batted .299 as well, with 46 attempts, 35 stolen bases, 11 home runs, 200 hits. I don't know why he's not in the lineup. The last couple of days he has not been in the lineup, but he does play 150 games that season. So anyway, it's Dick Dietz. Dick Dietz can hit .295 average and 140 at bats as a kind of backup catcher, first baseman type. Here's a pitch, and that's a 58. Ooh, that's going to be either an error or a base hit single past Garrett. So a 58 on Garrett's card is going to be an E5. So he boots it, and that puts runners on first and second. E5. So Dick Dietz bounces out to Garrett, and Garrett misplays it, and that puts runners on first and second. Nobody out. Casanova. This is the issue. If I bunt with Casanova, then I got the pitcher coming up. So I'd rather hit away with Casanova and let the pitcher bunt. So let's do that. Let's hit away with Casanova. It is a 257. He is a righty, so a 57 will be a swing and a miss. Curveball gets him. So John Matlack fans Casanova, and now we're going to bunt with the pitcher Reed. And Reed, that's a 18-19, and Reed is a what? Reed is a 4, so that's going to be a good bunt. A 23. A 23 is a 1-3, so it's a bunt right back to the pitcher, and both runners move up. So they're set up in scoring 2 runners in scoring position for Oscar Brown with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. John Matlack gets a sign from Grody, sets and deals to Oscar Brown, who's a 207 hitter. The pitch, and that's going to be a 99 on the 4 column against a lefty, and he swings and misses, and he goes down on strikes. Yep, believe it or not, that's usually a hit. All right, we go to bottom of the second. Rusty Staub. And it's a 20, so that's the catcher. That'll be a strikeout most likely. Dick Dietz is, no, Casanova's behind the plate, as I said earlier. And that'll be, that will be a strikeout. 20, yep. Curveball gets him, so Staub goes down on strikes. And here's Steady Eddie Kranepool with a 6 and a 94 plus 10. So that's going to take him to deep center field. Deep center field. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because I always forget. So now I gotta roll on the deep center field chart, which is that middle column, and it's going to be wait a second, what did I do wrong? I roll those 2 dice plus the power. Power is 0, so it's a 12 on deep center field, and that's going to be a fly ball center field. On the run is Baker, and Baker runs it down for the second out of the inning. So Ed Kranepool gets some muscle into it, but it kind of dies in the outfield in the gap, and Baker with a nice running catch. And here is a guy named Jim Gosger, not much of a hitter, 239 and 100 bats that season. Mets went all the way to World Series in '73, so it's a fun season to play. And that's going to be a 69. A 69 will be a high fly center field again. Right there is is Dusty Baker. He's under it, squeezes it, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the third. So Mian drives one in the gap, and that's going to split the outfield and roll to the wall. So that's going to put Mian at second base ahead of the throw with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's Wayne Garrett up. And here's the pitch to Wayne Garrett, who I'm waiting to catch fire because he's batting 190. Here's the pitch, and that's a 6 with a 90. Nope, no, actually it's not. It's a 0-9, right? The white is first, so it's a 0-9. It's a 19, and that's going to be a high fly in the infield, backing up to the outfield grasses. Perez and overcomes Johnson, and Johnson calls him off and makes the catch. So that's 2 out again. Garrett's troubles continue, and here's Rusty Staub, always in danger, the pitch, and that's a 95. Right fielder Brown, 95, and that's on the right. Okay, so let's see. The range is a 5. If the range is, if the blue die is less than the range, it is not. So then it's going to be a base hit, and it's going to be a double. And the arm rating is a 3. It's going to be a double, and run scores. Mian comes around to score with the first run of the game. So an RBI double for Rusty. And the Mets are out in front here in the bottom of the fourth, 1-0. Steady Eddie Kranepool now with 2 outs. The pitch from Reed, and that's a 30. With a 3, and the 30 will be a base hit, but that's going to be an infield single, knocked down by the third baseman, no throw to first, and stopping at third base is Staub. So it's first and third now for the Mets. And it's going to be Jim Gosger with 2 outs against Ron Reed. Ron Reed can go 5. Nobody's gone that yet. And that's going to be a 92, a 192, and that's going to be a little bloop. Will anybody get there? No, and digging for second is Gosger. Coming around to score is Staub. And with 2 out, they're going to score Kranepool as well. That's going to be a two-run double here in the bottom of the fourth. And the Mets are up 3-0 now. So Gosger comes up big with a little bloop on the 92. A little bloop double that scores Kranepool all the way from first base. All right, here's Jerry Grote now with 2 out, and Gosger takes his lead off second. Reed gets the sign from Casanova, deals. It's a 10, and that'll be a high fly right field towards the line is Brown, and Brown runs it down to retire the side. All right, Paul Casanova leads off in the top of the 5th inning. The Mets lead at 3-0. Mets have been on fire as of late. They were like 7-12, and now they're 12 and 14, so they're like 5-2 in their last 7 games. So they've been much better. All right, John Matlack with a 171 and a 71 will be ball 4. So he walks Paul Casanova, and the pitcher will bunt, squares the bunt, and his bunt rating is a 4. And we got a 13. It's gonna be a good bunt. 17. Moving over to second is Casanova. And that puts the runner in scoring position with 1 out. Brings up Brown, Oscar Brown, who's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out and struck out. Here's the pitch, and that's a 58. A 58 will be a high fly right field, shallow right field. Right there, Staub, and he's under it. Casanova holds. And it's Marty Perez. Perez is 1 for 2 with a single and then a ground out to shortstop. Here's the pitch from Matlack, and that's a 91, and 91 will be a bloop single. So a little Texas leaguer drops in, and Casanova will score with 2 outs. Like that rule. The rule makes sense to me. I play that rule usually in the other games I play. So it's going to be a single. And it's going to be a 3-1 ball game. RBI 2, a 2-out single, a little bloop Texas leaguer that dunks in there over the glove of Harrelson and picked up by Gosger. Coming around to score easily is the runner, and here's Aaron. We are on the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch, and that's a 64. That's going to be a ground ball to Harrelson. A 64 will be, a 64 will be a ground ball to short, over to first in time, and that retires the side. But the Braves get on the board. It's 3-1 ball game, bottom of the 5th. Buddy Harrelson, yes there is. He's a switch hitter. He is a defensive specialist for the Mets. Never really had much of a bat. He does hold his own in 73, bats almost 260. Here's the pitch. And this is the 5th inning that Ron Reed can go, and after that he starts accumulating endurance points. So this is going to be a 51, and a 51 will be a ground ball by the diving Johnson at second base. So he muscles a ground ball through the infield for a base hit. Harrelson's on at first. Here's Matlack. He will bunt. He is a 5, 10, 17, 20, and that's a good bunt. So that puts the runner at second base with 1 out, and up comes Ted Martinez. Ted Martinez is batting, he's 1 for 2 today, batting .230. Here's a pitch, and that is a 62, and a 62 will be ground ball, no, 62, yep, will be a ground ball to short. Runner will be looked back, so runner on second will hold on that. And then it's Felix Millan. Very conservative with that. I know it's about 90% of the time runners hold on balls hit to the left side. Every so often, I don't worry about it too much. It doesn't happen very often, maybe once a game, if that often. Here's Millan. Pitch from Reed. Millan has a double today. He's 1 for 2. And that's going to be an 84. 284 against a righty. An 84 is going to be a 5.54. So that's going to be to the third baseman, 54. I'm pretty sure I'm playing that right. 54 to the third baseman. There should be an out. Let's see if we can get Darrell Evans, a 54, and it is a ground ball to third. Over to first in time. And we move to the top of, so an out for Millan, and leaves a runner on base. We go to the top of the 6th, 3-1 the score. John Matlack still on the mound. John Matlack is 6 endurance or stamina. They use the word stamina in this game. Here's Johnson. And that's going to be a 19. A 19 is going to be a ground ball to Matlack. He boots it, drops it, picks it up, no throw. And that's going to put Davey Johnson on at first on an E1. Somebody said, do I got to roll to see if it's a 2 for him to? I can't. Somebody said there's a rule that you gotta roll to see if it's a 1 or a 2 base error, and I can't remember that rule. Someone's got to remind me of that rule. Dusty Baker. Here's a pitch from Matlack, and that's going to be a 90, a 290. Baker's a righty, and a 90 will be a deep drive to left field. This is going to be trouble because power for Baker is a 7, and that's going to be a 14, and that's going to be a deep fly ball left field. Back goes Gosger to the track, and he runs it down. That is out number 1. So Dusty gives it a ride, but does not carry out. Next is Dwight Evans. Here's the pitch, and that is a 371, and a 71 will be a bouncer to second base. Runner will advance to his right, and Millan gets there, plants, and throws him out. And here's Dietz, the pitch, and it's a 36, and the 36 will be a swing and a miss. Struck him out on the curveball. Matlack reaches back for a little extra, strikes out Dietz, and we move. Now both pitchers are in the penalty, I guess, if you want to call it that. So for every base runner, they will get a number. They will get a little die that I put up next to their card. Garrett, so let's look and see. 14 complete games. Matlack completed about 50% of his games. So I would feel perfectly comfortable allowing him to complete this game. Reed completed only 2 games out of 19 starts, so Reed is going to get pulled. Whether he needs to be pulled or he doesn't need to be pulled, I'm pulling him. And here's the pitch, and that is a 38 against the lefty, and a 38 will be a pop-up left side, third baseman right there. Evans in fair territory makes the catch. Pop 5. All right, Rusty Staub is next. Pitch. And it's an 80. A 380 and an 80 will be a bouncer to the second baseman. Davey Johnson steps in front of it, over to first, 2 down, and Kranepool. Steady Eddie Kranepool with a 73, a 473 against a righty. And that will be a ground ball to first. Taking it himself will be Kranepool. I'm sorry, Dietz. And he beats Kranepool to the bag. We go to top of the 7th. Paul Casanova leads off. And it's going to be a 28, a 328, and a 28 will be a swing and a miss. Casanova strikes out. Next is the pitcher, so I'm going to pinch hit for him here. Let's see who we're going to call. We're going to get a righty. Let's see who it's going to be. Larvel Blanks. No. Ralph Garr. No. Let's get a right. Oh, man, I got a lot of lefties on this team. I got Rod Gilbreth, so we'll use him for pinch hitter. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm back at work, so a little harder for me to do these when I'm working. I get tired, and then I got the dogs. So Rod Gilbreth is going to pinch hit with nobody on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. It's 3, 6, and 2 for the Mets, 1-3-0 for the Braves. The pitch, and that's a 95, and a 95 is going to be a high fly. Bloop drops in, base hit. So Gilbreth picks up a hit here, a pinch hit. Ooh, no, I don't want to do that. All right, so Gilbreth is on at first. Tying run is at the plate. It is Oscar Brown. Pitch from Matlack. Oh, that's going to be Matlack. Gets hit there. And the pitch, and that's going to be an 87 against a lefty, and an 87 against a lefty is a ground ball hit hard to Garrett. Goes to Mian. Back to Kranepool. 5-4-3 double play. That will end. That'll end the inning, and we need a new pitcher for the Braves, who we're going to grab. Let's see who's available, and I'll look and see who's coming to bat. I'm not a big splits guy in the 70s. I mean, I will look at the splits, but it doesn't drive the game. So I got a lefty, righty, and then a switch hitter, so I'm not going to worry about it here. Let me look and see who I can bring. Rorik Harrison. Innings pitched usage. Carl Morton, he's in the rotation. So I got a guy named Tom House. He's a lefty. I'm going to save him. Danny Frizella. Yeah, I haven't used him. So let's call on Danny Frizella. So you get all the players with this game. It's something that is a must for me. So if any game that doesn't give you all the players, it's already a game that I'm going to struggle with, because then I have to figure out how am I going to... I like to have these anonymous guys, right? I like to have the anonymous guys in the lineup. I like that. Gosger, especially when it's a starter who had 3 starts, right? Gosger's up here for the Mets in the bottom of the 7th inning stretch, and it's a 30. So it's a 30. Should be a ground ball to the first baseman. Who was at first base again? I went blank. Oh, Dietz. Dietz is at first base. So it's a ground ball to the first baseman, and he will grab it. Step on the bag. G3. All right. So Gosger grounds out to the first baseman. Grote's up. He's 0 for 2. He's batting .213. He was a 250 hitter. Here's pitch, and that's a 76, and a 76 will be a little bloop. Drops in. Base hit. I've had a few of those today. So off the end of the bat, drops into right field. Brown throws it in, so Grote's on at first with a hit. Here's Harrelson. Oh, I have the wrong pitcher, by the way. For some reason, I left. Where's Frizella? I had Upshaw up there doing that. Let me see. Hold on a second. All right, I gotta end the game here. I gotta replay the whole game. No, I'm only kidding. I would never do that. That's ridiculous. I don't even think anything came off the pitcher card, but it may have, but it doesn't matter to me. Let's see. I'm having trouble finding Frizella. He's in here somewhere. I've used him in the past. Here he is. All right. So that's going to be a 40. A 40 against the righty and a 40 against the righty is going to be a ground ball first base. Dietz goes to second, Perez, and no throw back as Grote goes in hard. So the 3-6 and 2 outs now. Here is Matlack. Pitch. Ooh, a 63, a 73, and a 73. Harrelson got on base, so that's going to be 1 point. So 73 is an 83. And an 83 will be a base hit. And going to third will be Harrelson because that 6 takes us to 63. He's got a point there. I added the point because Harrelson was already on base. And he's a 0. So that's a point. And then plus the Mets are at home. So that is a double point. Or a double, that's 2 times 10, so that'll be 80. So it's an 83, and an 83 falls into the single two plus signs, which means he moves 2 bases. All right, so runners on first and third, 2 outs. So Frizella dealing with Ted Martinez. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 92, a 392, and a 92 will be a ground ball to third. This will end the inning. So we go to the top of the 8th. John Matlack still in there. Perez leads off here. The top of the 8th, 3-1. Braves. Here's the pitch. And that's a 35. That's the first baseman, Kranepool. And Kranepool will make the play at first. G3. Next up is Aaron. Pitch for Matlack. A 77, a 277. He is a righty, so a 77 will be a hard hit ball down the line. Nice backhand by Garrett. Long throw to first in time. Great play by Garrett, flashing the leather. He does make a lot of errors, but he does have a decent range. Here is Davey Johnson next. Davey Johnson today's 0 for 3, struck out twice, and then reached on an error by the pitcher. And that's going to be a 53 on a 2, and he is a righty, so a 53 will be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Pretty good game, 3-1, Mets. Mian leads off. We're going to pull Frizella here. Frizella's not a guy that goes a long distance, so we're going to pull him, bring somebody else in. Who are we going to grab? Let's see. Who are we going to grab here? We're going to grab Kelly, Tom Kelly. So let's grab Kelly and let's put him on top. Where is he? All right, Tom Kelly is ready to roll. Here's a pitch to Mian, and Mian with a 0-8, a 1-0-8, and a 0-8 is going to be a ground ball to the first baseman. And Dietz is going to flip to the pitcher, covering 3-1. So that's the first out here. Next up, Kelly will remove that. He has a stamina of 1. Here's Wayne Garrett. Wayne Garrett is 0 for 3 today. And that's a 63, a 463 against a righty. So we're looking at a 63, which will be a high fly. Left field on the run is Aaron, and Aaron tracks it down. Got a good read on that ball right off the bat. And Aaron was able to catch up to it. 2 outs, and here's Rusty Staub. Staub today is 1 for 3. Batting 240 on the season, 280 hitter. And that's going to be a 73, and a 73 will be a bouncer to second base. Davey Johnson with the easy play, and that retires the side. Top of the 9th. Last licks for the Braves. Matlack is still in there. Dusty Baker leads off against John Matlack, who's going for the complete game. He's allowed 4 hits in this game, or 1 run. And here's the pitch, and that is going to be a 42. A 42, 342 is a ground ball knocked down by the second baseman, Mian, and Baker beats the throw to first base. That's going to be an infield hit for Dusty Baker. A 42, and that is a hit. I double-checked that. So tying run is on at the plate. So it is another point, another pip, if you will, for Matlack. I don't think I missed any, but that's always a possibility. But again, I don't beat myself over that. I'm an imperfect human being. So, what can I tell you? Just going to have as much fun as I possibly can here. Here's Evans, not beat myself up. Oh, that's going to be a 28. That we're going to have to look at Grote's card on that 28, and that 28 is going to be a base on balls, and that's going to put the tying run on base and the winning run at the plate. So that brings up Dick Dietz. Dick Dietz, a righty. Matlack. And that's going to be another pip, right? That's the thing I got to constantly remember, which I really, to be honest, don't like to have to do that constantly. And then add numbers and all that. I get it. It's not a terrible mechanic. It's just one that I don't really, enjoy. To be honest, it puts pressure on me to kind of think about adding and subtracting and jumping from one chart to another part of a chart, and that is sometimes something that is not. It's a little bit of a struggle for me, to be honest with you. Here's Dietz, Jon Matlack, and Dietz with 2 men on, nobody out here in the top of the ninth. We get some action in the bullpen. I have no idea who's moving on around out there. It's going to be a 43, but on a 2. Dietz is a righty, so a 43 will be a swing and a miss, and he strikes out on the curveball way out in front. Now, I could have bunted with Dietz. Dietz is a 300 hitter. Now I got Casanova, who's not a great hitter. So I'm going to pinch hit for Casanova here. Let's see who I have. I don't have anybody really much better than him from the right side. I have a guy named Larvell Blanks, who's not a good hitter. And then I got all lefties. So I'm going to let Casanova bat. He's going to swing away. Does he have any power? He has a little power. He hit 7 home runs and 230 at bats. So he has a little bit of power. Jon Matlack's going to get the sign. Now, Jon Matlack is, again, he's still got a little pop left. We'll see what happens. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 24, 324, and a 24 is going to be a swing and a miss. Big strikeout from Matlack, who reaches back for a little extra and blows it by Casanova. And here's the pitcher, Kelly. Now we have to bring in a pinch hitter for sure. There's no doubt about that. And who are we going to bring? We're going to bring Larvell Blanks. Going to call on. He's a righty. He's my last righty. Otherwise, I got about 7 lefties. So this team had a lot of lefties. That's what I'm noticing. Now, Larvell Blanks is from Del Rio, Texas, and I met him. My son and I both met him. He was at Little League opening day years back, maybe 2010 or something like that, and we met him. He has a good pension from being a baseball player, right? Larvell Blanks. His brother, I think, was a big football player as well. Good athletic family. He's from Del Rio, Texas. That's the border with Mexico. So Larvell Blanks is going to pinch hit against Jon Matlack here with 2 men on and 2 out. So we're 1 out away from victory, and the Braves are down to the last out. Let's see what happens here. Larvell Blanks. Here's the pitch. Blanks was a 222 hitter. Only had 18 at bats, so he was not around very long. Here's a pitch. And that's a 58, a 258. He is a righty. So a 58 will be, say, blows a fastball by him, and that ends the ball game. Strikes out Blanks, and the Mets win it. They're 1 game away from 500. And I'm not sure who they play next, but that's the ball game. Final score 3-1, and Matlack goes a complete game. He will get the victory. And he gives up 5 hits. 1 run for Jon Matlack, where we just say the box score. We will take a quick peek at it, and I'll give you some more insight into the game and into the stats. Let's see. So Jon Matlack is 2-2, 2.32 ERA, 1 run in 9 innings with 5 hits, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts for Jon Matlack. So he had an excellent day. He had all his pitches were working, and Mets had 8 hits in 30 at bats, which is not too shabby. So 1 for 3 for Kranepool, and 1 for 3 for Gosger, and 1 for 3 for Grody, and 1 for 3 for Harrelson. So that's it. Mets win this one. Again, no home runs for the Mets. I literally haven't had a home run in 15 games. I think Mian hit a home run the other day. Mian actually is the only guy that's hit. He's hit 2 home runs. He only had 3 for the season. He's hit 2 home runs in the last 12 games. That's the only home runs that I've had for the Mets. So now I'm starting. When I started playing this game, I wasn't keeping track of endurance or stamina. So I'm noticing that that is going to lead to more opportunities for home runs. Not always, because once it gets up over 700, 703, then it's deep center field, and you can hit home runs there if you roll 18 or higher. I don't have a lot of power guys. I think I have like 3 power guys. Staub is one. Milner hasn't played. He's injured. Staub is one power guy that I have, and the other guy is Garrett. Those are the only 2 power guys I have, and I just not though they just not have not had opportunities to hit home runs. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter. Remember to like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think of season ticket baseball. And I'm getting the flow of the game. Hopefully I'm improving, and I feel though as though I am. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Remember to join Season Ticket Baseball, which is a great site, group run by the designer of the game, and there's a lot of guys on there. The game has a good, strong following, and a lot of those guys. If you have any questions, if you want to try the game, you can do that. It is PDF, and of course you can have printed cards as well. I do the PDFs because I like it. I prefer it. I can't. I don't have a big. I have a lot of expenses with my dogs and stuff, so I try to save my money for that. But that's it, guys. So thanks for watching, and this is Tony Porter, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.